Virtual host misrouting exploits represent one of the most critical vulnerabilities in web server configurations, as they can inadvertently expose sensitive internal services to unauthorized external access by exploiting subtle misconfigurations. At its core, a virtual host setup allows a single physical server to efficiently host and manage multiple distinct websites or web applications, with each one designed to respond appropriately only to requests matching its specific domain name. These virtual hosts depend heavily on precise and proper configuration settings to accurately direct incoming client requests to the correct corresponding application, based solely on the domain name specified in the request. Misrouting happens precisely when these configurations contain flaws or errors, leading the server to mistakenly process a request intended for one domain as if it were meant for a completely different one, thus diverting traffic incorrectly. This vulnerability commonly arises from issues like missing default virtual host entries in the configuration, overly broad wildcard domain matches, or inadequate handling of the crucial host header present in standard HTTP requests. Savvy attackers take advantage of this weakness by carefully manipulating the host header within their crafted HTTP requests, thereby tricking the server into erroneously routing them directly to an unintended and often sensitive internal service. For example, by sending a specially crafted request with a manipulated host header value, an attacker can potentially bypass protective external firewalls, load balancers, or other perimeter security controls. As a result, this grants them unauthorized entry to critical internal administrative panels, unsecured staging environments for testing, or even proprietary sensitive API endpoints that were never intended for any public exposure whatsoever. Just picture an attacker suddenly gaining complete administrative control over your internal content management system, or stealthily accessing unreleased product features and confidential development data before anyone notices. The potential consequences of such exploits are severe and wide-ranging, from massive data breaches and unauthorized manipulation of critical information to the outright complete compromise of your entire server system. To effectively prevent these dangerous virtual host misrouting exploits, security professionals and web developers must prioritize and implement rigorous validation processes for all server configurations on a regular basis. Make sure your web server configurations explicitly define every single virtual host entry, and crucially, handle any unknown or unexpected host headers gracefully, typically by redirecting them safely or displaying a neutral generic error page to block access. Conducting regular comprehensive security audits and proactive penetration testing remains absolutely crucial for early identification and swift rectification of any lurking misconfigurations before real attackers can discover and exploit them. Furthermore, layering in strict access controls at multiple levels along with effective network segmentation strategies can significantly limit the blast radius and overall impact even if a misrouting vulnerability somehow slips through. By thoroughly understanding the underlying mechanics of virtual host misrouting exploits and diligently applying these proven preventative measures, you and your team can substantially strengthen and elevate your web infrastructure's overall security posture against such threats.